Hello people of the internet, I am not an Englishman, this is not the film directing masterclass, and in this video I will talk about things I have learned while shooting my film on 35mm. Although you don't necessarily have to shoot your film on 35 or any kind of celluloid in order to find this helpful. Make the shot list a top priority in your last steps of pre-production. Sit down with your DOP and go through the shots. How long will each setup take? How long will it take you to shoot it? Which shots are similar in camera position and lighting, and which should be shot one after another to save time, and which shots are the least important for the story and can be shot at the very end. Also try and shoot all the shots with actor first and then concentrate on coverage and pickup shots. I would suggest not to begin with close-ups, as you'll want your actors to warm up a bit before you get them up close. We had a certain shot list set for both days of our shoot and then decided to completely change the second day, as we've learned a lot the previous day. It turned out that that decision pretty much saved the film, as we wouldn't have finished on time otherwise. Now, this one may sound trivial, but this is actually a very important topic, especially if you have people working for low or no money. Find out if there's any allergies and any food preferences and prepare accordingly. Filmmaking is quite physically demanding, so you want to have fuel. Make sure there's enough carbs on the table as well as vegetables and fruit. A film set is not really a place for high cuisine, and while it's nice to have diverse food, don't go too fancy on it. Also have chocolates and sweets and things that people can grab as they go. We had pancakes, as we thought that everyone loves them and they'll be a hit, but it turned out not to be the greatest idea. People don't know how to hold them, as they still need to do stuff with the other hand. Plus, they didn't want to get their hands too oily or dirty, as there's cameras and lenses involved, so keep that in mind. Especially if you're shooting on film. Don't be afraid if they're not too experienced. If they are passionate about it and want to learn, they will be the most valuable pairs of hands on your set. There's nothing better for an aspiring filmmaker than to be given a chance of working on set. If you're making a film, you are officially a filmmaker, and it is your responsibility to help others. It doesn't matter if it's an A-lister you want in your film or the waiter from your local pub. If you don't ask, you don't get. The worst thing that could happen is people saying no. Mind you, actors' agents are really polite, so even asking for a top star will probably result in a very polite email. One thing to keep in mind though when approaching professional actors is to offer them at least the minimal equity. A, it's a legal obligation, and B, you will appear more credible. Either rent a space or do it at home if you have a big enough space to do it. I really can't imagine shooting a film without rehearsing. Get your actors to sit down and go through the script. I had one full day of rehearsals with my actors and then 3 hours on set while the crew was setting everything up, and we managed to shoot every scene in 2, sometimes 3 takes. It just saves so much time. I will dedicate one video just for this topic, so stay tuned. Now, it's pretty utopic to try and make the whole crew completely out of people you trust. Especially when you're starting out, because, well, you probably don't know that many people from every aspect of production. But aim to have at least a few people on important positions in your film that you trust, like a DOP or a producer, first AD, I don't know. If not that, just have them around on set. Trust me, it'll make you feel more relaxed and comfortable. Write this on your watch or tattoo it on your hand if you want. I've said this in one of my previous videos and I'll repeat it again. Regardless to how out of hand the situation is, never ever show to anyone that you don't have complete control. Always appear cool and in control. If you start panicking, others will start feeling uncomfortable, and soon enough you'll have a very nervous set. I had a moment of panic on the second day of our shoot when they told me we're an hour and a half behind schedule and there's no way we'll finish this film at this rate. What I did at that moment is I had some food as I was pretty low on energy, and then I went to our rehearsals room and meditated for 5 minutes, as that was exactly the amount of time I had before we started shooting the next scene. And I remember saying to myself that if I am able to keep my head completely clear for at least 10 seconds, we will finish this film. And I did, and we did. We completely rewrote the shot list and actually finished 15 minutes beforehand. So if you have a moment of panic, go to the toilet or somewhere when you can collect your thoughts and then continue. Tell them how you want certain scenes to look and feel. If you're going to do a quick montage, for instance, tell them that so that they know what they're doing. Don't let the actors just repeat whatever you tell them to. Explain the backstory. And if you tell them what you're aiming for, maybe someone's already done a similar thing and might have an idea or two on how to go about it. I was always afraid that if I tell exactly what I want to do, people will either find it stupid or will come up with a different idea and will want to change it. And both of those fears are stupid. The worst that can happen is people saying okay, and the best that can happen is someone actually coming up with a better idea, which will eventually make the whole film better. Director of photography, for obvious reasons. Sound recordist, for reasons equally obvious. First AD, continuity supervisor, especially if you're shooting on film, there is no way to check back the footage. Loader, if you're shooting on film, of course. The first AC or focus puller, and a runner. And probably the most important thing that you should do whenever you're on set, especially if it's your set, just try and enjoy it. Just absorb every moment, be aware of the fact that there are people around you who want to create the world that you came up with, and they just want to help you do it, and that you're actually doing it. The thing that you wanted to do for so long, now you're here and everyone's doing it, and everyone's enjoying it, and you should as well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Click the like button if you haven't yet, and if you have, just leave it as it is. There will be a new video next week, as it is every week, and I think there's a travel vlog coming up as well. Anyway, keep it up and go and shoot that film.